Hey everyone, another Grunts and Crafts time today. So what we're doing here is we're making basically a shooting rest or shooting bag for like the stock of your bolt gun, or as a item to put on barriers, so you have that hard on soft on hard kind of thing for shooting. Things like that. Typically, you see a lot of bags filled with actual like sand or like BBs or whatever. Since I have the materials, we're going to do it out of EVA foam for the fill. It's padding. It's got give. It's soft, so you can use it in that same application. Not as malleable and such as a beanbag is, but with the materials that we've got for a DIY thing, is actually going to work really well. So what we've got here, we've got EVA foam. Again, EVA foam is closed cell foam. It's waterproof and buoyant. So I've got 6 layers here, and this is about almost 1/4 of an inch thick stuff, and 5 layers for each of the riser sides that are going to sit there, and then the butt of the rifle can sit in between, or the fore end of your rifle, whatever, can sit in here, okay? If that makes sense to people. Fairly simple thing, and we've got a nice good length of that denier nylon, 500 denier nylon, which is about 10 inches wide by 20 inches long right now. There's going to be excess that'll be cut off once it's actually stitched and stuff, and then there's going to be a slit for a tab in the center, whichever way it goes, in the center for a little bit of 550 cord to loop through, so you have a carry loop for it. Okay, so that's kind of the premise here with that. Fairly simple thing. You can see I've got the layers taped up, just some 100-mile-an-hour tape, and then I'll tape the risers to this, get it all kind of fixed in place a little bit, and then gonna get it covered with the nylon and get it closed up and everything, and all that. So it's a fairly simple thing, fairly easy DIY little project here. A rectangle cut of fabric with a little bit of measurement markings. These are kind of rough, just no real solid sizing markings or anything. There's a lot of excess for a reason, so for stitching and things like that, again, excess will be cut off, but I just want to make it as relatively tight around the foam as possible for the fit. Now with this kind of thing, you could absolutely just stitch this together and then fill it with sand or bean bags or whatever, and then stitch and seal it up. You could do that too, absolutely. I don't have a bunch of sand, and I don't have like BBs or anything to do that, so we're going to use foam. Again, just kind of a simple thing. So these are the riser portions that go on top here. The riser portions, they are 3 inches wide by 5.5 inches long, and this 6-piece base pad section is 5.5 inches long by 7.5 inches wide, or whatever, wide, long, either or, just to give you an idea. So these will sit here, those will sit there like that, and the rifle will sit right in the butt of the rifle, or the fore end of the rifle will just sit right there. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so just kind of showing you the core materials, 100-mile-an-hour tape and all that, got it cut and all that. So we'll get it stitched up here and finish it up, and we'll show you the finished product, okay? Okay, so here's the finished product. So stitching along 3 sides, basically. I reinforced this side with tape because this was the most difficult side to get stitched up, just because of the height, and the height of my sewing machine wasn't very cooperative. I did get it stitched, but just reinforce that side. So boom. Rifle can just sit right there, either the stock or your fore end. Obviously your muzzle's past, but whatever. It can chill right there. And I did it with the more like rubberized kind of waterproof side outward, just to plus that up. I mean, this whole thing's waterproof anyway, but just to give it a little bit of grip too, because it's kind of rubbery and has some tactile feel to it, which is really nice. But again, the socket right there, the stock will sit right there, wedged real nice. Again, this is EVA foam. It's relatively soft. It has give. It's flexible. It's buoyant. And then what I did here on this end, cut 2 little slits, fed some paracord through, so you have a point for, you know, a carabiner, a lanyard, and you know, you can pull it out of your bag, whatever you need to do. I know the competition shooters, you know, long range competition shooters and stuff like that, so I put that there too. I just put a little tape there just to reinforce those slits on each side to help prevent them from tearing. Not that that's going to be a really big deal or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Flat side, you want to use that side. You got that right there. You can put it this way, whatever you want to do. If you need some more height, you know, that way or whatever. But this is a really good little thing. I'm actually going to end up using this for my bolt gun whenever I take it out to the range. So yeah, it's a good little thing. And it weighs less than a freaking bag too, which is nice. So that's really handy. And again, you know, because that's there, you know, for barriers, you can flip it over, put it on there, and put your rifle right on there. It's going to give you some give because again, it's foam. Yeah. So there you go. Pretty simple little DIY thing. So you get the foam, you know, you saw what you did before with the foam. You get it set in there, stitch up one side, fit it in there, or stitch up 2 sides, and then whichever sides, and then you fit the foam in there, and then you finish with the stitching on the last one, which is, again, that was the hardest for me to do just because of the sewing machine that I have. But I got some stitch runs, and then I just reinforced it with some 100-mile-an-hour tape, no big deal. And then finishing with a 550 cord and a tab. Too easy. Simple little project. It's a little DIY shooting bag for you for like the stock of your precision gun or whatever. So hopefully that's a cool little thing for people, and they get some use out of that. I know there's some long distance shooters out there that may find this helpful. It's one of those things. So just another DIY project. Really easy to do. You really don't need all that much material. And yeah, you got yourself something that you made. So there it is. All right. Next one coming up. Metal up. Out.